Are you convinced that we're on the road to hyperinflation?
I think we'll see a hyperinflation depression in the United States. The problem is, what will happen first. Whether the euro will fall apart or whether we're going to have hyperinflation in the United States. Mm-hmm. If the euro falls apart, we could see some hyperinflation in different countries, for instance in Greece or in Spain, with the devaluation of the new currency. Let's say that the Greek people revert to the drachma and the Spanish people revert to the peseta. At that point, yes. Mm-hmm. But that's a question mark. It's very hard to tell, what's going to be first. If it's going to break first in the United States or if it's going to break first in Europe.
Well, you spend a lot of time on both sides of the Atlantic. What is your best guess?
To be honest, I don't know. It's probably going to be, it's a rotten door. Mm. And who is going to kick open the rotten door first, whether it's going to be in the United States or in Europe, I haven't got a clue. I don't think it's very important anyhow. If you make your precautions well in advance, whatever happens, you're going to be on the safe side.
Yeah. The one country that I've actually been watching very carefully is the UK. I always thought that the US would be the first to go to hyperinflation, but the situation in the UK, in many respects, is worse than it is in the United States. So the surprise might be that it could be the UK that goes first, not the euro or not the dollar.
I agree with you. The UK is the canary in the mine shaft. However, what about Japan? What if it happens in Japan first?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, Japan, in many respects, just looking at the numbers, is by far the worst. The debt to GDP, the aging population, the deficits that they're incurring. And, like we have in the US and much of Europe, misguided policies. Yeah. They're trying to revive the economy by more debt, and you don't solve the debt problem with more debt. You just create a bigger problem for yourself down the road. So maybe it might be Japan that actually.
So we don't know where it will come from. Yeah. And normally, and usually, it comes from the corner where nobody expects it will come from.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You can never guess what would be the trigger that will cause the problem, mm-hmm. and it could be almost anything. It could be real estate in Spain, Spanish banks, for example, and the problems that they're dealing with presently. It could be completely something we can't even think of at the moment.
I think that, as you mentioned, Spain and the Spanish real estate problem, as long as the governments and the banking systems are prepared, and they know that something is deadly wrong in Spain, central bank knows it, and as long as they're prepared, it won't happen. Mm-hmm. Danger will not come out of that corner. It will probably come out of a corner that nobody expects it will come from. Mm-hmm. And that is something which I don't know. In Europe they're probably pretty well prepared. They're pretty well prepared in the United States, and that's possibly, I don't know, maybe Japan.
Yeah. Well,
maybe the UK. I haven't got a clue. That's the $1 million question.
Yeah, understood exactly.